Well, it looks like we found another way to lose, as usual. This team, this team doesn't know how to finish. They don't know how to finish a game. It's unbelievable. When they were ahead 15 to nothing, oh no, when they were ahead 15 to 10, excuse me. When they were ahead 15 to 10, I knew we were going to lose. I knew it because this is what they do. For them to win a game, they comfortably ahead, and they weren't. They would have to be up by three scores to win a game because they let other teams back into it. Um, in the beginning of the game, they they were the defense was playing decent. The offense was out there going three and out. CJ was having a hard time completing passes, and and what happened was the defense got tired a little bit. But if the offense had scored points, if they had scored those points and got drives going, who knows? They probably most likely would have won the game. But they beat themselves. Every single time they beat themselves. And when they play the Cardinals, what do? They let the Cardinals beat them. If they played better than they did, they would have won that game. And this is what they do. It's like the Green Bay game. We had a lead in that game. What did we do? Gave it to the Green Bay Packers. The game against Detroit, we had a lead by like two or three scores. What did we do? We almost gave them the Lions the game. They don't know how to finish. And what I can't understand though is at the very end of that game, where was the pass rush? When we were trying to stop a rookie quarterback from beating us, where was the pass rush? It was non-existent. They just let him sit back there, throw here and throw there, and we lose. Unbelievable. You know what's really going to be embarrassing? What if the Cardinals never win a game the rest of the season, and their only two wins were against us? That's embarrassing. Another thing too is the way the team is playing right now. I don't know. I don't know that we can beat the Raiders. I think I think the Raiders are actually a better team than the Cardinals are, and the Cardinals beat us twice. So I think if we go into that game not focused, not putting our foot down on another team's neck and taking the game away, if we can't do those things, we'll lose. You know, C.J. Beathard, I was not impressed. He looked like total crap again. And in the that first half, three and out, getting sacked, hesitating too much in the pocket. He's not an NFL quarterback. It's a shame that it's a shame that Kyle Shanahan doesn't see it. He thinks he's the future or something. He's not. Um, but yeah, CJ played horrible. He did throw a touchdown pass to Marquise Goodwin, but that was it. The rest of the time, he wasn't that great. Um, the defense played well, like I said, in the first half, but they got tired because the offense kept going three and out a lot. Fortunately, I don't believe there were any turnovers in this game, unless I missed it. There was almost one on a punt, on a muff punt, but other than that, I don't think that we did. But still, we found a way to lose. And in the closing minutes of a game, you just got to keep the chains moving, keep the other offense off the field, keep the clock moving. And if you can't do that, you got to play defense. You got to send the blitz after the quarterback. I don't know what is with Robert Saleh, the defensive coordinator. Doesn't he understand that? And again, in a situation like that, you got to bring pressure. You got to make sure that quarterback's not going to complete those passes. You got to make sure that he's not going to kill you. But it happened. Robert Saleh is a terrible defensive coordinator. He needs to go. He's one of the things that needs to go in the offseason. Um, and we need to have a better draft. We got to have a better We need to have a better draft, and we need to do a good job in free agency, because I'm starting to lose um, my faith in Kyle Shanahan. He thinks so much of C.J. Beathard, yet C.J. Beathard just isn't himself. No, what am I saying? He's never been himself. He's just who he is. He's just terrible. And and what is John Lynch doing? I mean, I wasn't all that impressed with what they did in the off season. When they were acquiring players, I didn't think they did a good job with that. I didn't think they did a good job in the draft either. But I think a lot of it has to do with York. I think that what's happening here is uh, I think what's happening here is that the Yorks, like let's say um, John Lynch or Kyle Shanahan, maybe there's a certain player out there they want, maybe a guy that's really good, talented, but has a little bit of high price tag on him. I think the Yorks say to John and John Lynch and Kyle Shannon, they probably tell him no, you can't get that guy. He's too high a price. You can't. We'll just settle for the average guys. Well, you get what you pay for, I guess. But they played absolutely horrid in this game. I mean, not entirely, but but that offense looks terrible in that first half. That offensive push, they just didn't look good at all. The defense played good, like I said, but they collapsed when it mattered. And that's how it was with the Green Bay game. That's how it was with the Detroit game, although the Detroit game was won, but should have probably been a loss. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you guys. All we can do now is, you know, uh, just wait until the off season, and see what kind of moves they're going to make, what kind of players they're going to sign, what they're going to do in the draft. And, if they do that, if they do that, then, we can look forward to things. But I still believe that things have got to get better. I think they will get better. But, man, I mean, I think they will get better, but that's in the future. We're just really struggling with this rebuild right now. We're in our second year now rebuilding, and we're still struggling with things. I mean, look at the Seahawks. They're in their first year of a rebuild, and they're already looking like a team that's already rebuilt. I mean, it's like, look, they're winning. They have a better record than we. I mean, with all the players they lost in their offseason, you think that the tables would have been opposite, but they're not. They got the better record. We got the crappy record. And because we lost to the Cardinals, we have the worst record in the NFC West. We've got the worst record in the NFC West now. That's disgraceful, and that's disgusting. These guys, like I said, in that last moment in the game, they should have played with pride, self-respect. Go out there and say, we're going to win this. We're going to do everything we can to stop it. And all I saw was, Cardinal receivers wide open. I saw a Cardinal quarterback that had no pressure around him at all. And, it was an easy win. It was an easy win in those closing moments for the Cardinals. He gave it to them. It's not easy being a 49er fan, but I'll always be a 49er fan. That's never going to change. But I'm not liking what I'm seeing from this new regime right now. If this, if this continues, Kyle Shanahan and Trent and John Lynch, they're going to go through the same thing that Chip Kelly, Jim Tomsola, and Trent Baalke. They're going to go through what they went through. The fans are going to hate and dislike them. It's going to happen. I don't even know that Kyle Shanahan even knows what he's doing. I mean, his biggest mistake was making C.J. Beathard the backup, who has no business being the backup because Nick Mullins beat him, in the preseason, beat him out, played better than he did in the preseason. I mean, Mullins should have earned that second string job behind Jimmy Garoppolo. He should have gotten that position. And why did CJ get the second second string job, number two quarterback? He got that position because Kyle Shanahan favors him. I think it's all based on favoritism, and I think that because it's his guy he drafted, he doesn't want to look wrong by taking him out of a game or or benching him or cutting him because it makes him look like he made a bad mistake. So he's still trying to be hopeful that CJ is going to be somehow really good. Well, I don't think so. And I really believe that Nick Mullins should start against the Raiders. I really do. I think, you know what I think? I think if Nick Mullins starts against the Raiders, I think our offense will look better because a lot of teams out there don't have film on Nick Mullins. And um, and from what I've seen in the preseason, he plays pretty good. Seemed pretty accurate thrower. So I would put Nick Mullins in there. Why are we wasting our time with CJ for? I mean, he's not great. He's just. I mean, yeah, he did some good things today. There were a few good throws he made, but overall, I didn't think he did anything great. I don't. I mean, you saw when the 49ers had the ball. That last time they had the ball, CJ just isn't a clutch quarterback. I knew he wasn't going to get us in field goal range. I knew because I know what kind of quarterback he is, and I knew he wasn't going to get us in field goal range. I knew he was going to somehow blow that game, and they just collapsed. The team collapsed. They always find ways to lose. I mean, like the Detroit game, they were up by 3 scores. They were blowing Detroit out, and they almost let Detroit win that game. Perhaps if they weren't up by 3 scores, they probably most likely would have lost. This team just, this team just doesn't know how to win. It just doesn't. It's a shame that this is happening, but they got to rebuild. They got to get better. Um, the future, I still think it can be bright. But why can't we rebuild our team fast like the Seahawks are doing? The Seahawks are in a rebuilding state, and they already look like they're rebuilt in 1 year, one off season, and we're in our second off season, and we look worse. But we also have a lot of injuries too, which has a lot to do with that. We lost our starting quarterback for the season. We lost, Jared McKinnon. We lost, so we lost players and guys, are out for 3 weeks, whatever. God, this is frustrating. This is frustrating, fam. I mean, this is very, very frustrating. Um, I don't know what we're going to do. Um, I mean, as far as what we're going, because the trade deadline is coming up, so I don't know what we're going to be doing for that. I hope they make some right decisions because we need all the help we can get. The season is over. It's been over the last 2 weeks, but you always cheer for your team to win no matter what the scenario is. Because a win is winning is always a good thing, but we really didn't have a good season. I mean, we 49er fans, this was no season. I mean, there might as well not even have been a season. I mean, because we had nothing to cheer for this year, absolutely nothing. I mean, yeah, that one win against the Lions, but a lot of fans weren't happy with that win because they felt that it should have been almost like a loss. It's depressing. We've been through this the last few years, since Jim Tom Sola took over. And, there was the Jim Tomsola regime that only lasted 1 year. There was the Chip Kelly regime that only lasted 1 year. And, when we had Harbaugh, we were a good team. I mean, we were there in the NFC Championship game every year, except in 2014, they didn't make the playoffs. But still, we're a decent team. And now they are playing like, it's unbelievable. It really is. I always hear people say, why are you a 49er fan? How can you stand being a 49er fan? Because of them losing all the time. Well, you know what? I've been a 49er fan since the late 70s and also early 80s when they won their first Super Bowl. And I am not going to give up on never stop being a fan of the history, the rings, the trophies, the greats. I will always forever be a 49er fan, and nothing is going to change that. Um, tomorrow night. I'm not going to change that, but it is a bitter time for us. And another thing I think 49er fans should know out there is that you're not alone out there. We're all feeling this. What you're feeling right now, we're all feeling this. The whole fan base is feeling this right now. We've been through this. We've been through these tough years before. And we just got to be patient. I know we've been patiently and painfully waiting for us to get to the mountaintop again. But it's going to take time. It really is. And this is very difficult. But that's all I want to say. I think the 49ers could have beaten that game, could have won that game today if they only had played better offense in that first half. They should have also played better defense on that last defensive series they had. They should have brought the pass rush. They should have pressured a rookie quarterback into making mistakes, but they didn't do that. And it's because of Robert Saleh. He's a terrible defensive coordinator. I just don't think they're buying what he's selling. And but tomorrow night, I think what I'm going to do tomorrow night, I think I'm going to do a video about, a Raider preview video. 'Cause we play them Thursday night. I didn't do a preview video on the Cardinal game. I had so many things going on, but I did make this one. So, anyways, everybody, I'll talk to you later or tomorrow when I do another video, and we'll talk about I'll talk about the Raiders and stuff. So, that's it. And everybody, take care and hang in there. I really believe better times are coming. Perhaps not this year, but maybe next year or the year after that. But I have to believe it's coming. Okay, everybody, take care.